This week's episode is loosely themed around the topics of memories and birdsong. We have submissions from Steve, Ree, me and Ellen. Thanks you all.
Hey, Steve Yellstone here in Quakertown, Pennsylvania. Doing a little bit more than walking and riding a stationary bike. Sunday afternoon, January 28th. And nothing really to update on. Except yesterday was my wife's birthday. And we had a nice little outing to Lancaster, PA, and had a nice breakfast, and then just putzed around different little towns, little shops. Not as much as we would have liked. Would have been nicer on a better day, or maybe more intentional. But my wife had a nice time, and that's what mattered the most. So today, after church, we continued celebrating her birthday by meeting up with her folks, her brother and sister-in-law, and our son Wayne and his wife Rebecca. And so we had a nice time eating together and chatting. And now it's just a quiet Sunday evening to relax. And so I thought I would come out and spin around the block on my feet and do this little update. So the temperatures are probably in the 40s. The ground is colder, I think, but with this warmer temperatures, it's creating little fog spots in the low areas. I was thinking of submitting something to Carlos back when he was asking about telephones and such, and that my mind got to go back in time, back in the days with our rotary phone, and having to, you know how you do a redial these days on your phone? Well, doing the old redial routine on an old phone, a dial phone. I remember calling to see if I could find out what time the movies were playing at the theater, and learning to dial very quickly. But I don't remember exactly what I was aiming to do. I think it was just getting information. Or if you heard a radio station say, caller number 10 wins such and such. Just dialing back to back on a rotary phone. I brought back memories. And then I remember when we switched over to a dial tone and a push button phone, and how different that seemed. I'm not sure my parents switched before I left home. So we've come a long way. with the telephone in just not too many years. I guess many enough. So I do remember party lines, but not too many. I grew up in the LA area. I think the phone company was a little more sophisticated. Or there were no intentional party lines. But once in a while, you heard other voices on your line. Well, that's about it for this update. And about 5 minutes for Mr. Carlos Castillo. Hey, best wishes. I'm still out here. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Hello, moon. Beautiful big moon up there. Nice and bright. Nearly full, but not quite. That's a bit of poetry for you. Just heading back from the evening constitutional. Been up through the fields. What were once potato fields, but they've now got something in them that looks a bit like what looks like grass, but it's probably wheat or barley or something. Because it's all sitting in nice rows, so I imagine it's something that must have been sown. That moon is very bright. Beautiful pink dusk glow. Listen to the birds. What is that geezer doing in the distance there? Reversing his van. Go on. Go away. Here he comes. Down the lumpy bumpy lane. Delivery vehicle, that's probably for my mother, I expect. Something comes every day. My naughty mother. Back to peace and quiet, down the lane. Sound of my feet in the mud. I can smell the gas from the cooker. Warning blackbird. Oh, that's probably one of the cats causing all that kerfuffle. He's setting them all off, isn't he? Right, let's get back then. Almost dark. It's coming up to the house. The wind's dropped.
So hello, your 5 minutes people. This is Carlos, the running jackal, running up Queenswood Avenue towards Kings Pond. I hope to record some quacking of ducks for this week's episode. Failing that, I will mention a memory that I have that my brother Pablo related to me when we were in England together drinking beer. He reminded me of the boats that we used to make. We had a little diesel engine that we mounted in a speedboat hull. This was, once again, a non-radio controlled boat. We never had the funds to afford a radio control system. We used to go to the pond.
1 minute, 10 seconds. Ahead.
At Barnes Common and sail. I guess it would be motor this launch across the pond. Obviously, we didn't want to put a turn on the rudder because it could end up just going around in circles away from the shore. All right. Kings Pond. Hello, ducks. There are about 200 ducks here that I'm very slowly walking through. Hoping not to startle them too much. Hello, ducks. Yeah, they see I have no bread, so they're keeping their distance. Well, I guess I've covered both topics in this week's theme. The theme of memories and birdsong as I run on the chip trail. I just glanced at my watch and I have 3 minutes 50 seconds.
36 seconds. Ahead.
3 minutes 50 odd seconds of recording memories and birdsong. Just enough time to give you a heads up on the next episode. The next Your 5 Minutes theme will be trips / holidays. We never really did cover that topic.
42 seconds. Distance 4 kilometers. Average pace 7 minutes 20 seconds per kilometer. Cadence 71. Workout average pace 7 minutes 10 seconds per kilometer.
As I approach the TH section, I will say bye-bye for my 5 minutes.
Hi everyone, this is Ellen from the Berkshires of Massachusetts. I haven't really submitted in a long time, but I thought maybe I like the topic memories, so I thought maybe I'd give you a quick little blurb on one of my favorite memories. About 10 years ago, I created a medical missions organization, and what we did is we brought kids from around the world who needed life-saving surgery, and we brought them from third world countries, and we begged for all of their services in the United States to be free. So I had to solicit doctors, which is not too bad. Believe it or not, doctors are human and they like to make a difference in hospitals, which are tough because they're big business. And everything had to be free, and then oftentimes I would either take care of the child during their care in the United States or find other families that were willing to do that and support them. So it was a pretty awesome mission, and a lot of the places that I went were pretty serious third world countries. One of them, which I want to tell you about, is a small country about the size of the state of Colorado in Western Africa, sub-Saharan, called Burkina Faso. So the first time I went over there, my job was to sort of interview parents who would walk 12 miles in the desert, barefoot, no water, no food, carrying sometimes their half-dead child to bring to me to save. So we became sort of like these godlike white faces, which it didn't feel very good. It really didn't. You have to make a lot of decisions that no human should have to make. You know, how do you tell a parent who just walked 13 miles that, no, we can't help your child because their head is the size of, an elephant's butt, and there's no brain in there. So anyway, I went there and I knew no one, and our representative who was asking us to help these families came and picked us up at the facsimile of an airport. It was pretty wild. We got to the airport, we got our visa at the airport, but they kept our passport. So I was pretty weirded out about that. And then we got in this old jalopy with people on top of it, riding on the doors, hanging out the windows, and taken out to the outside village of the capital city called Ouagadougou. So we were way out in the village. Of course, they have no running water, no electricity, and we pull up, and it's late at night. We're jet lagged. We don't speak the language. They speak basically French, but out in the villages they speak tribal languages, and they're not written languages. So the majority of them were Moray, and there was Jujula, and so we see all these tiki torches, and I thought, oh, that's it, we're done. We're the only two white faces in this country, and we're gonna be eaten. And they were singing, they were chanting this. It was actually a religious song, very religious. They have nothing, but they have faith and friendship. But it was kind of had a nice beat, and they were drumming, and there were all these tiki torches, and of course it was pitch black, and they're black, and so all we could see were these torches and this chanting and this drumming, and I was quite afraid. And it turned out we sat down, they were offering us food. A lot of the food was things, they picked these bugs out of the air, ripped their wings off, cook them, toast them over the fire, and they're a delicacy. I wasn't too interested. But I just kind of wanted to share with you, it turned out to be one of the most significant moments of my life. It changed my life. It changed the way I think and see things. It made me realize what's really important, things like health, friendship, and faith. And it really set into perspective how lucky we are to have the things that we have and the people that we have in our life. And I guess, I turned 60 this year, and I'm kind of trying to figure out, where I'm going, what I've done, what can I do better. I'm trying to get my health back. And so those kind of memories really play into this kind of thinking. So I just want to tell you my story, and hope everybody enjoyed it. And I'm really glad that you do this, Carlos. It's a good podcast. Have a good one.